If you believe everything you see on TV, you would think the majority of teens do drugs. But today, we meet a group of youth at Kwantlen Park in Surrey who are smashing that myth.
There's many substitutes and things you could do that are not alcohol or drugs.
Just consider the long-term effect that it's going to have on you.
The true people who are cool will be the ones who decide not to, and later in life, they'll be able to reap the benefits.
I think there's a myth out there that a lot of young people believe that all young people are using drugs. And that's absolutely not true. There's actually far more young people who aren't using drugs than who are. Somewhere around 30% of young people may have tried them. Around 20 to 25% may be using them regularly, which leaves about 75 to 80% of young people who aren't. I think it's important to know that.
Deb told us about an initiative called SWAT, which truly is a community effort.
The Substance Use Awareness Team, or SWAT, is a group of 15 different organizations in the city of Surrey, all working together to raise awareness around drug and alcohol use. We partnered with the Kwantlen Park Leadership Class as an initiative to showcase that there's a lot of young people out there making positive decisions about drugs and alcohol, and they're wanting to bring that message to other youth.
The benefits of being in the leadership class are many.
I joined the leadership class looking for new opportunities and how to grow as a leader and how to better myself and for time management.
Leadership does a lot of things, like they coordinate school events and they help make the community a better place.
That's kind of like the purpose of leadership too, like to include our school community into whatever we're doing, whether it be like pep rallies or like showcases or stuff like that, or games even.
Today we heard many reasons why you should carefully think about the decision of drug use.
I know it's very tempting for many teens, and I'm sure every teen has had that thought of maybe falling to the peer pressure of their other friends and whatnot. But when it comes down to it, those who choose not to have made these decisions because in the long run, it will benefit them.
What you do might reflect on the rest of your friends or families. If you have a younger sibling, they might, be like, oh, my brother or my sister does this, I can do it too.
I think things like alcohol are okay when you're older, but it's important to know that when your brain is developing, that you shouldn't take these kinds of risks with your own brain, right? Because that's going to be with you your whole life.
A lot of it can harm you, really bad, especially if you're not using it properly. If you do end up using it, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, even in just marijuana use. So there can be, you don't know who's used it, you don't know who's touched it, stuff like that.
Certain drugs can definitely have a negative impact on your mind and your body in the long run. So you definitely, even if it's a prescription drug, you want to research things and know what you're doing before you do it.
Sometimes a really quick split-second decision can have impacts for a long, long time in a young person's life, sometimes far beyond what we might think about in the moment.
How do you think peer pressure plays a role in teens and drug use?
When you get involved with that crowd, you're peer pressured to do drugs, I guess. So I feel like a lot of people fall under peer pressure, and that's the main reason why they do drugs, yeah.
It's if your friend comes up to you and offers you alcohol or something, then it's not you're gonna be oh no, because then they're oh, why are you being such a poor sport, or why are you being so that,
I think it does play a large role, but then at the same time it doesn't. So if you really trust a close friend, you would do what they do. But if you can't think for yourself, then you probably won't listen to them.
The teenagers, they don't really know, they've never done it, and the only thing that they hear is that people say no and don't do it, but they've never actually had that experience, so mainly curiosity.
It's logical not.
As a teacher, Mr. Mackenzie also had some words of caution about drug use.
Think before you act. Fortunately, every human being is empowered with the ability to make a choice. And if you're not quite sure if it's the right choice for you and you have that gut feeling that it's something you shouldn't be doing, you're probably right. But at the end of the day, there's more than enough research that suggests that there is more harm to choosing to do drugs than good.
It's so common for people to turn to this outlet.
I think it's really important as a young person to have fun in your life. That's actually one of the biggest reasons that young people give is for why they're tempted to use drugs, is to have fun. So I think at this time in your life, have fun, have lots of it, but make sure that you have it in a way that's only going to bring something positive to you and your friends, not something negative.
Leadership!
Wow, I've learned a lot today.
Yeah, me too.
This makes me want to get more involved into leadership.
That's a great idea. This is Daphne.
And Avalon, signing up for Gen Y.
It's nice to see that youth are talking about making healthy choices.